The god of wealth descended to the mortal realm disguised as an old beggar. He had a scratch card and hoped to exchange it for a meal. William was busy preparing to welcome the god of wealth, but when he saw the beggar approaching, he frowned and dismissively shooed him away. A beggar appearing on the day of the god of wealth's arrival was a bad omen. The beggar shook his head and walked over to Mark. Mark, kneeling in front of the god of wealth statue, was furious when he heard the beggar wanted to trade a scratch card for food. He shoved the beggar aside and angrily shouted at him to leave, not to ruin his fortune. After driving the beggar away, Mark returned to his prayers. The beggar walked away dejectedly, wandering the streets until he came upon the woman's small shop. When the woman learned that the beggar wanted to trade a scratch card for a meal, she was immediately stunned. Onlookers whispered, calling her stingy and certain she would refuse, but to everyone's surprise, the woman immediately welcomed the beggar in, offering to feed him. Then, unexpectedly, the beggar made an outrageous request. He wanted to try every signature dish in the restaurant for free. Everyone was stunned. However, when the beggar reached the cashier, he said he could exchange a winning lottery ticket for the cost of the meal. The frugal owner, surprisingly, believed him and agreed to the beggar's request. To everyone's shock, a little while later, the woman won a $1 million prize. It turned out the beggar was the god of wealth in disguise. Seeing the woman's kindness, he casually gave her the winning ticket as a gift, but the unscrupulous owner immediately regretted his actions. Just earlier, he had personally driven the god of wealth's avatar out of the restaurant, treating him like an inconvenience and pushing him onto the woman. Now, not only had he lost out on the fortune, but he had also offended the god of wealth. Seeing that the greedy owner had regrets, the god of wealth didn't hold it against him, and quickly left the restaurant. Just as he was about to leave the human world, he noticed that Guanyin Bodhisattva had also arrived to bestow blessings. They decided to test the woman's character once more. After receiving the $1 million prize, the woman couldn't bring herself to feel joy. Her youngest son quickly came over, hoping to take the money to pay for his wedding dowry, but the mother, knowing that the daughter-in-law wasn't truly interested in marrying him, tested her by saying, "If your daughter-in-law really wants to marry my son, she should give up the $1 million dowry." The scheming woman immediately became frantic. She threatened to harm the child in her womb if the youngest son didn't agree to the deal. As the argument continued, Guanyin Bodhisattva and the incarnation of the money-spreading child entered the room. The woman quickly invited them to sit down, but the newlywed woman, seeing the dirty appearance of the little boy, claimed that he might have a contagious disease, which could harm the baby. She quickly ordered her husband to throw them out, but the mother, adhering to the principle that once you enter, you are a guest, ignored her daughter-in-law's and youngest son's complaints, and hurried to the kitchen to prepare a bowl of noodles for them. Seeing the little boy's acne, the daughter-in-law feared his illness might be serious. Worried that the mother might give the lottery money to them, she secretly conspired with her son to kick them out. Little did they know, this very action would lead to a great disaster.